Back again. Oh, my goodness. Welcome back, everyone, to the CyberTAP. I didn't know what song to start with, but I felt like that. Or Welcome Back, Cotter. Eminem's pretty good.
Yeah, Marshall
trying to reach the children, Mike. I'm trying to reach.
Wait, is that classic rap? Old school?
It probably is at this point. Well, nonetheless, I apologize for opening with song, but welcome back to the CyberTAP podcast. We've been on hiatus for a very, very long time, Mike. I didn't know we were going to get back to it.
I wasn't sure it was going to exist.
But I think, if I remember correctly, almost every episode started with me asking
Mike.
We
had so much demand.
Yeah,
we
that's
had to come
That's
back.
right. Every episode started with me asking, Mike, how the heck are you? So, Mike, how the heck are you?
It has been a long time.
Good things have happened.
Good things, yeah.
Good things here at CyberTAP.
We like talking Purdue sports.
Yeah.
So we have to acknowledge the fact that we are, you see, runner-up. Did we get a banner for that?
Mm-hmm,
runner-up national champions?
We do.
All right, well.
Yeah, a Final Four, which was nice. First one since 1980.
Yeah.
First national championship since even longer. And that was really, really great. It would have been nice to win the big one, but really special to get there this time. I felt like it was a monumental moment in my Purdue sports history for sure.
I think this was the first season I didn't get to watch a live game, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did. I actually got to take some of our partners to the Michigan-Purdue game where we won by like 30. Got to sit in the black seats. Choice. Very, very nice. Well, before we get too far down the road, we should at least introduce
why are we here?
Who's at the table with us today, Mike. So some big announcements coming, but first let me introduce who we have here. So you know him as producer Jim, but he's at the table with us. More on that to come.
Hello.
But I should ask the same question. Jim, how the heck are you, sir?
I got upgraded, so I don't.
You're getting upgraded. He's at the table. No longer just producer Jim. He did get an upgrade. Anything new with you? What's going on?
Big things. Big things. Big changes.
Big changes.
I'll let you know when I figure them out.
Okay. Well, you tell us. And then we also have, of course, I don't remember the golden mic.
Golden mic holder.
He reminds us most days. He walks around the office carrying the golden mic. Yes. So the super contributor to the CyberTAP podcast, George Bailey. George, how the heck are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Promotion, new grandbaby. Just world is treating me well.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. Okay, so we're all here to welcome back the podcast, but there are some big changes.
There are. I need to fire my agent.
Well, it's too late, Mike, because one of the big first announcement is Mike and I both were fired.
Yes.
So we've been asked to
negotiations went poorly.
They did. We were trying to get more money. We tried to go from zero pay to
something
to something. It didn't happen.
An M&M?
No. So I said it before, Mike, to you that we made a fatal mistake when we were talking about bringing the CyberTAP podcast back. We kind of opened up negotiations on host, on format, on everything. And the first order of business when we gave that just small slice of power to technician Eric and producer Jim is they fired us. They said, you guys are no longer. I'm looking over at Eric, and look at him sitting on his high horse over there.
Pretty sure I heard hostile working conditions.
We were just too demanding in our diva ways.
It took me an hour to peel those M&Ms.
Yeah, Jim had to peel the M&Ms. For us in the very first episode.
I'm pretty sure he just licked them.
So. I'm adding something to my rider to challenge the peeled M&Ms.
We'll see how that goes for you. You're going to end up in the same boat as us fired. No. So what does that mean, Mike? We are not going to be the primary host moving forward to this kind of coming season. So
executive producer.
Yeah, that's right. We've demanded executive producer title. I told Eric, I said, if you don't give Mike and I executive producer titles, we're not moving forward with this project. Yeah. That's the way it was. Completely a vanity title. We will not be producing anything or doing much at all. But we will get to join the show. Yes. So that is one thing. We're still going to be contributors. We're not completely gone. So if you do enjoy the CyberTAP or did enjoy the CyberTAP podcast, you'll get to hear from us every once in a while. We'll talk a little bit about that more in a second. But the big announcement here is that George Bailey's going to be the primary host. So George, I guess this is the torch being passed to you. There's no physical torch. I looked for one. I'm disappointed.
And what incentives did you get in your contract?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Yeah. More work is basically what it amounts to. Wait a minute. This is not good. Wait, this is a blessing for us.
I was told it was fun, so we'll see.
We'll see if you have
TBD.
Fun. Yeah, we'll see. So we're handing off, and then there's a bit of a format change as well.
Yes.
So, if you
improvement.
Oh, I think so. I think it's a big improvement too, and I'm excited to see where it's going. But if you have been around with us for a while, listening to the CyberTAP, which we do have, we always joke that Phil was our only listener, but we have a few.
We tracked some, and we saw some international, and then we were assuming that was probably VPN usage or some other kind of.
There were 7 seasons.
I don't know. There was a bunch.
Lots of episodes.
We did a lot of episodes.
We did.
And we did.
Eric's saying 8.
8 seasons. Okay.
We had thousands and thousands of downloads, which is great, which is fun and exciting. And so we were looking at our social media footprint and things like that and said, why would we have quit one of the things that seemed to be fairly successful to get the name of CyberTAP out there, and then also just the good news of cyber getting out there. So we're bringing it back, but as Mike said, I think there's some positive changes to the format. So if you recall, it was mostly just Mike and I, and then sometimes we'd have a guest, or we'd, cover different topics ourselves, or we do some silly and fun stuff. And I think some of that's still going to be here, but the primary format moving forward is going to be a panel type discussion where you will always have a handful of people joining, much like we're doing right now.
Right.
So, George, what do you think that kind of lends itself to a better conversation? Why do you think we're going with a panel? Why do you feel like a panel is a good idea?
Perspective. We'll get many different perspectives. It won't just be my philosophy on cyber. It will be Jim's philosophy on cyber. It will be what we read in the news. It'll be other professionals. We might get student interaction. Just, again, perspective.
And we've got a deep bench that have participated in the show before.
Yeah.
And that bring different perspectives, and I think their contribution will be beneficial.
And I'm hoping to get some debate, right? Because we don't all see eye to eye when it relates to
it is election
cyber
season,
issues.
so
it is.
we should have some good debates.
You got to find out which one of your staff members disagree with you. So when
fired,
exactly.
Cuts are coming.
Yeah, so I agree. I think the panel style discussion round table will make for interesting conversation and topics, and I think you're right. We do have some interesting personalities, some interesting perspectives. So I look forward to just being a listener on the shows that we don't have to participate. Mike, I consume a few different podcasts, and this one will be right in my rotation, and I don't actually have to listen to my own voice because, like we said earlier, Mike
can't stand it.
Mike and I have faces for radio and voices for print, so we were the total package that you're losing. So I think that's a great new format. How often episodes are coming out? How are we
every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
We're gonna shoot for every 2 weeks. Kind of mix in some of the fun stuff that we did in past seasons. So we're going to mix in a little bit more of the movie reviews, go outside nerd type activities, and then sprinkle that with some serious discussions and unpacking news and current events and attacks and threats and.
And I want to debunk a
all
bunch
the
of
fun
myths,
stuff.
and FUD and fear and uncertainty and doubt that we see in cyber.
FUD.
Yeah.
FUD.
He's gonna debunk
We're going to make
FUD.
it fun.
We're going to be the cyber Mythbusters. Copyrighted.
Copyright, trademark, patent pending. Yeah, I think that's exciting, Mike. The pitch that I got when they're letting me down easy, because I have to big soft landing for my ego when I got fired from this podcast was we get to come back and do the fun stuff that Jim was mentioning, and so some of my, when I think back about all the episodes, I certainly have meaningful episodes that were the highlights, but the fun ones were always the most fun for us. Jim, you mentioned the go outside nerd. There's nothing better than reviewing, what was the movie? Benjamin. What was that movie? I forget. It was a German film.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wasn't the whole thing subtitled?
Hey Jamie, can you pull that up? Sorry. we don't have one.
We don't have a Jamie.
Jim, can you pull that up? What was that movie? That was fun. And then we were yelling that. If you remember,
constantly.
Was it Who Am I?
I think that was
Who Am I? Yeah,
that's when we were going down the river.
2014.
Yeah, going down kayaking.
I don't want to talk about that.
And Jim's kayak.
Go back and listen to it.
You need to go back to that. It struck some rebar in the creek, and
he almost got murdered as he was.
Inflatable kayaks are for the birds. Walking miles with sand in your shoes is even worse.
Yeah, blistered his feet, all for the love of the pod, man.
Technician Eric, I think, was half submerged for the latter part of that journey.
Yeah, his boat started taking on water. It got real dicey there for the last minute or two. Yeah, but those episodes are always fun, so I'm looking forward to coming back and doing more of those. And the movie reviews were always good. Speaking of movie reviews, one of the things we should tell our listeners about is there's a whole series now on our blog where it's current events, it's newsworthy stories, it's history of cyber, and then there's a lot of movie reviews going on out there. So we have a new writer that's been writing for us.
A different perspective on some of the movies that we've actually already reviewed on previous podcast episodes.
How do people find that blog if they're interested in that?
cyber.tap.purdue.edu/blog.
Yeah, that's not too hard to find, but I'd recommend that. You can find it also posted links to news stories as they come out on other social media channels like LinkedIn. Probably the best way, I would say, to connect with CyberTAP on social media is through LinkedIn. We do try to be somewhat professional. No, we are a professional organization, so kind of that professional, business-minded social media presence is important. So LinkedIn is probably a really good way to find Purdue CyberTAP. And then we also have an X account.
Formerly the Prince symbol and all that.
Yeah, I can't.
Used to be Twitter.
I still can't stop calling it Twitter. So I really struggled even
weird.
as I said X.
It's just weird.
Papa Elon can name whatever
it's
he
his.
wants.
He can do what he wants with that.
He wants. I just still thank him for my Starlink. But yeah, so you can find us on X. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can read that blog. There's a number of ways to connect with us on social media. But I think this podcast was always one of the more engaging ways to kind of find out what's going on around here, to keep up on news, to listen to Dorks Have Fun. And I say that with all love and respect for each of you and myself, because that's who we are. But yeah, I think it's going to be good to revitalize, rekindle, restart, redo.
Yeah,
redo the podcast. I'm excited for the George Bailey host and Jim Stratton host and panel era.
And if any of you listeners are not bots and real people, reach out to us and let us know if you like the changes.
Please do so.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we need to cover on this first episode where we're just welcoming everyone back? We're working on the transition. We're letting everyone know. I'm looking over to Eric. I'm looking at Jim. I'm looking at anything else we need to
Did you hit record on that for this podcast? Are we doing good? Okay. Got the head shake.
Okay, we actually recorded the first one. So this is just the launch episode. The real episodes are coming soon.
Yep.
And they'll be out every couple of weeks. So
Stay tuned.
Subscribe, like, check us out. As always, you can email us at cyberTAP.purdue.edu.
That's right.
So you can get us there and find us on social medias, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, good luck, guys. We're fired, Mike. We're out of here.
Yeah, we're gone.
We're calling it. We're going to ride off into the sunset. I'm Thelma to your Louise.
Okay, I don't want to die.
Oh, is that how that movie ended? Spoiler alert. Jeez, Mike. All right, we're out of here. Good luck, Jim. Good luck, George.
Thank you.
Look forward to when we can join you guys on one of the future episodes
and I'll be listening.
Revitalized podcast, CyberTAP podcast. See you guys. All right, peace. Thanks.
Bye.